The New York Islanders take down the Tampa Bay Lightning two times in the last 3 days or last three games. Unbelievable game by the Isles tonight, winning 2-0 against the Lightning. Fantastic victory for the Isles. First game out on the road again after a 7 game homestand. So really excited to see that. Just want to say, last game, when I did my podcast, I was inspired by the Islanders, and that's why I jumped out and I did a podcast. And beating the Avalanche like that for me was they got me going, and so I jumped on. But to come on and do another podcast again, this time I'm going to be honest. I was inspired by the comments in the videos. You guys inspired this second one. The comments were very kind, and I truly appreciate it. And thank you very much. And it's fun. It's fun doing it. I'm glad you guys enjoy it because I do enjoy doing it when I'm podcasting. So thanks very much, guys. I appreciate that. But let's get into the game. I mean, this was huge. This was huge. This team. One of the things I heard the other day that I think was put it best is when Matthew Darsh was asked about Matthew Schaefer. The one thing that Darsh said was, "This one player changes the whole appearance of our team," and a truer statement could not be said. I mean, this team is so night and day. It is amazing how quickly this team has turned around in the last year from the direction they were going to the direction they're now going. I mean, it is unbelievable. We were a slow team just a year ago, and all a whole bunch of small little moves. Uh, Getting Heineman included into that Dobson deal was huge. There's some speed. Getting Gatcomb back in the lineup, there was some more speed. You got McLean. Well, take a look at our fourth line right now. We got McLean, Gatcomb, and Cizikas, much faster than Clutterbuck, Martin, and Cizikas. I mean, we've really turned it around, and the speed in our game, what Matthew Schaefer has done by boosting up the speed on this team is amazing. And I mean, we had some fast skaters, but now we're competitive in the speed department in the NHL. And I can see it's only getting faster. I can throw Cal Ritchie into that group as well. So fantastic win by the Islanders tonight. Let's set this up just a little bit though, right? We go 6-1 on a road trip. We are riding high. We are feeling good. We are on the move after starting the season 0-3. We know we're coming home for a 7 game homestand, and this is where we could really make a move and really put our stamp on this division. But what do? We completely shit the bed, and we go 0-3-1 in the first 5 games of the homestand, and you're going, oh man, the road trip almost seems like it was wasted now, and especially with what you see is coming. All right, in the next 4 games, we're going to play Tampa, Colorado, Tampa, and Florida. And then also 5 days later after that, we're going to play Tampa for a third time. And you go, oh, this could get very ugly very quick. Very ugly very quick. And what happens? The Isles go out, they take Tampa, and they end their 7 game win streak. Fantastic. They stopped Colorado's 17 game win streak, give them only their second regulation loss in 26 games. And then you would think, okay, here's a good chance for a possible letdown going on the road to Tampa after already beating Tampa and Colorado. Going 2-1 in those 3 games would be amazing. But instead, the Islanders come out and beat them again tonight. And now we're going in to face the defending Stanley Cup champions who are also in the same position as Tampa was tonight, hurting. They're hurting. I mean, they're missing Barkov and they're missing Chachuk. And I'll be honest with you, they look old. They look old right now. They look slow. And this would be a prime example of when you want to jump on a team like this. Like, so, for good seasons and everything, you need things to go right. You always need things to go right. And when I say you need things to go right, that means injuries. And it can even be such a thing as hitting a team at the right time. Like, okay, Tampa was missing both Point and Kucherov. What a devastating blow that is to them. But who cares? People forget we're missing players. I mean, Palms is a 25 goal scorer in the NHL. That counts big time these days. We're missing players too, and that's just the way it is. And so to be really a great team, you have to work through all that kind of stuff. That's how the New York Islanders have a record of 19 consecutive series wins. It's amazing what they did. It didn't matter what got thrown their way. They overcame it and they won. And going 5 years in a row to the Cup Finals, it's not easy. You're going to have injuries, and so good teams will battle through it, and good teams will also beat a team when they're down. And that's exactly what the Islanders did tonight. So really a fantastic game by the Isles tonight. Super pumped about it. Super pumped about it. Uh, so let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. It's an excellent road win by the Islanders. Excellent road win. Uh, uh, you would like to have a little more control of that game, but once again, you're on the road, and you cannot forget that you're playing even without Kucherov and Point. This is a good hockey team. There's a reason they're in first place in the Atlantic Division. They have depth. I mean, Getzel's no slouch. Hagel's no slouch. They got some good hockey players, and their depth players are just as good. And like I like to think that the Islanders are a pretty deep team, but so are Tampa. And so way we work with no Romanov and no Palmieri. We step up to the plate. They step up to the plate as well. So uh, yeah, you had to know they were going to come at us. I mean, they're now in a two-game losing streak, and now after losing tonight, they've lost three in a row, and two of those three losses were courtesy of the New York Islanders. And you take it. You take it. So they were down. So what? Who cares? I mean, it was a good game. They still got 30 shots. They could have won the game on 31 shots. Any team can win the game on 31 shots. I guess it does depend who's shooting that puck, but still, overall, you got to be happy with what the Isles did. I mean, they put out a good road period. Yeah, sure, they were down in the shots. But at no real point did I ever feel like Tampa was absolutely dominating us or controlling us. And uh, we always seemed to have a handle on what was going on out there, whether we kept it to perimeter play or even like Patrick Waugh said tonight, or Ilya just made the save look so easy. The man is in a groove right now, and he just played fantastic. But it's not like we were getting pinned in our end and getting dominated in that. And it's one of the things that I love about this team so much, so much. As Matthew Darch said, the the whole appearance of the team has changed. We are now an exciting team. Even in this game, that was not a good game by the. I mean, it was a good game, but it was not exciting wise. It was not a great game for the Islanders to provide excitement for the fans. But that's not what hockey's about, right? So we had a low event game, and we weren't great. We didn't look great doing it, but that is a good road game. I mean, you come out of the first period, you're down or you're tied, nothing. Yeah, you got outshot a bit, doesn't matter. We didn't get dominated. Go into the second period, same result, same thing happens. You have to look at that as a good road game. Anytime you go into the third period tied or even a goal behind, you've done well on the road. And in this case, we were going in tied, nothing. And sure, a lot of that had to do with Ilya, but a lot of it had to do with our good play too. Like I said, not a lot of dangerous things were happening out there. So what this kind of bothered me. Well, no, I'll talk about when I talk about Cal Ritchie and when I talk about the players. But anyway, all of a sudden at 12:46 of the third period, the Islanders come through, and it was funny. I said, and it was on a power play. It was a 4 minute power play, and we got it on the second part of the 4 minute power play, and I just kept thinking to myself. I said, we need this power play to win us a game. And we haven't had that in so many years, so many years. And I started thinking, I go, well, like we're 23rd right now. That's not 30th or 31st or 32nd like we normally are. And there are signs. There are signs that our power play is going to break through. And but I thought to myself, this is the time. This is the one time where you need it to come through for you and win you a game. And we've never had that happen. And then Cal Ritchie digs into his bag of magic tricks. Wow, what a goal between the legs, short and stick, off the pads from behind the net, off the pads of the goaltender and into the net. Like to to do that in practice or just even by yourself, whatever, would be amazing. But to do that in real time in an NHL game and get a goal out of that, that was absolutely amazing. I am so happy with Cal. He's played so good. Uh, Anders gets a tip on the puck, makes it go just a little bit wide, comes off the boards, and it was a good job by Tony DeAngelo shooting the puck. One of the things you got to like about Tony DeAngelo, especially as a second unit power play guy, is that he shoots the puck, and I have no problems with our buddy Shape Daddy. He loves to shoot the puck, and it's been so long since the Islanders have had D-men who actually shoot the puck on the power play, and it's going to make a difference, and it's eventually going to pay off for us. So now here we go. We're up 1-0, but Ilya's in a groove. And you're thinking to yourself, wow, we're only 7 minutes away from beating Tampa twice in 3 games and sandwiched by Colorado Avalanche in there. That would be really something. But I'm telling you, this last 7 minutes, that was the slowest 7 minutes I think I've ever experienced in a long time. But finally, Casey sews up the game with back-to-back empty netters, which is also another rarity for the New York Islanders. So, and I don't care if it was with only 2 seconds left. I want the empty net goal. We need to break this curse. And so many things are starting to look like not like the old New York Islanders that we were. This is a different team. There's different things happening here, and we're going in a good direction for the first time in a really long time. We really are. It's an exciting time. So scoring back-to-back goals into an empty net, it might seem like a simple thing, but for the New York Islanders, that's huge. And sure, we went 3 minutes with an empty net before we got one with 2 seconds left in the game. Doesn't matter. We got one, and we got one the game before, and which also means that we didn't give one up. So things are changing for the Islanders. We've become a faster team. We've become a more talented team. We have a great prospect pool. We have a great looking future coming up, and there's a lot to be excited about right now. And there's a lot to be excited about this year's edition of the New York Islanders as well. We temporarily moved into second place into the Metro. Sure, we bounced back down once Carolina's win came through, but third place in the Metro is still that's doing pretty good. So fantastic game by the Islanders, just fantastic. So uh, it should be, yeah, I guess since we're talking about it, let's talk about the standings and sitting in third place in the Metro after the 0-3 start. It took us a while to get there. Now, sure, we played a few more games than most teams, but not everybody. A lot of teams are up in the same area as us. For example, you got Washington, who's leading our division, but they played the same amount of games as us, and they're only 2 points ahead. So that's really kind of where you want to be gauging it. We're right in that mix. Like, sure, Carolina has a couple of games in hand on both of us, and a few other teams behind us do too as well. But once again, I will say every time I will always take the points over the games in hand. Rarely do those games in hand all get cashed in for like, oh, you go, oh, we got 4 games in hand. We're 7 points behind. If we win all four, we'll be 1 point ahead of them in the standings. That rarely happens. More often, those points that are ahead pay off way more than the games in hand do. So, I'm very happy with where the Islanders are sitting right now, and we're right in the thick of it. So, you got Washington at 37, you got Carolina at 36, you got the Islanders at 35, and Pittsburgh 33, Philly 33. Jersey 33, Rangers 33, Columbus 32, 31 to the Wings and 30 to the Leafs. I mean, it's just crazy tight, but for the first time, there's just a tiny little bit of mini separation there for us. But But if you have another scenario where you go 0-3-1 like we did in that first 5 games, and it flips all around again. So consistency will be the name of the game this year, folks. The teams that are the most consistent are the teams that are going to make the playoffs. I mean, it's just that tight. It is just that tight. So, yeah, super exciting time for the Islanders. Super exciting time for the Islanders. You got to be excited. Like even in tonight's game, where I would call tonight for the Islanders a low event game, but it was still exciting. There were still moments where we're talking 2 years ago, we've won games like nothing right to the very end because Ilya has kept us in it, right? We've done that before, but this is different. This is just so different the way this team is playing that you just have the confidence and everything in them that it's going to happen. And so, yes, it was low event, but we still hit 3 crossbars. You know what I mean? So there were still the opportunities there for us, where back in the day, we weren't even getting the opportunities. We were winning that game 1-0 or 2-0 because Ilya stood on his head, or Varley, or whoever did it. And that's why we won. But that's not the case. Low event game tonight? Yes. A lot of teams, a lot of players didn't have the jump that they had last game. Yes. First game on the road, that happens. That's hockey. It's a long season, so consistency being the main thing there for sure. All right, so we pretty much talked about the game and that. Let's get into talking about the players now and see how they kind of did individually. Okay, so talking about the players individually tonight, there's not going to be a whole lot of stuff that jumps out at you. Like I said, it was basically a low event hockey game. So basically, everybody on the Isles gets an A+ for defense tonight. I mean, you got a shout out. Yes, Ilya had to make some tough saves, but it wasn't overall overly hard tasked shutout as well either. So, yeah. So, not a whole lot of glaring great things to talk about, but still some solid things to talk about from a lot of different players. So, let's start off with Max Hipilkov. A pretty good game by Max tonight. He had zeros across the board. Didn't get as much ice time as last game. 10 minutes and 35 seconds of ice time. He did have 2 shots in 10 minutes of ice time, and he also had 1 hit. So, overall, there was just a couple times that he just looked really good being on that first line with the boys. Like they were really clicking, and he just looked so much more comfortable playing with like a Barzell in the lead than he does playing on the fourth line. So, I tell you, folks, if you ever really want to have like just some enjoyment of a little small detail, just tell yourself some game before you start watching the full game. Say, I'm going to concentrate on how every time Max Siplikov gets the puck in his own end, what he does with it. And I'm telling you, you will be amazed. Now you have to actually think about it. Like even if it's just a 3 foot pass and the guy's wide open, you got to go, okay, yeah, puck's out. And it won't look too impressive at first until you start mentally noting each time that he does it and how differently he does it every time and how consistent he is at doing it. I certainly hope I don't I hope I don't jinx you on this now, Max, but I mean, it's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch just how intelligent he is at getting that puck out of our end. So, kudos to Max. I think he looked really good on the first line. I thought Simon had a really good game tonight. His ice time increased. He went up to 18 minutes and 45 seconds of ice time tonight. He had zeros right across the board, like hits, shots, blocks, takeaways, giveaways, points, everything, plus minus zeros. But still an effective game. Like I said, this game was filled with some really great defensive plays. And one thing that Simon Holmstrom is a good defensive forward. I'll tell you that. Guys like him, they don't get considered for the Selkie because you still have to get a few points. Like if you got in that 20 goal range that he did last year or somewhere in the middle 20s and whatnot, I actually think he could eventually be looked at for some Selkie results. But that's usually they usually keep that for the bigger players like Bergeron and Barkov usually own that kind of award. Declare, we saw some life out of Claire tonight, so that was kind of nice to see. He really used his wheels a couple of times beautifully. He was in all honesty, he was one of our better players for the first two periods, like offensively wise. He was one of the very few that was really making anything happen out there. Really impressive with the way he was using his speed tonight. He worked defensively hard and whatnot, which is rare for Anthony. But overall, I thought he had a really good game. 14 minutes and 13 seconds of ice time, but he had one shot on net and he also had a block shot. So kudos to Anthony. Good game. Matty Barzell, +1, 17 shifts with 60 minutes and 38 seconds of ice time. The ice time was really spread out a lot tonight, really nicely, evenly divided. And a big reason for that is what we talked about in the last podcast was the fourth line. And the fourth line went and repeated tonight what they did last game. And so Patrick just basically rolled the four lines. And that's a beautiful thing because you're going on the road trip and you want to keep your guys fresh and whatnot. So this was a tough game for the Islanders to adjust to. I mean, they just spent 2 weeks basically at home. They went through a holiday, they went through Thanksgiving dinner, probably watched some NFL football on Thanksgiving. The wives and some of the players went out and bought all the Christmas gifts for all the children's hospital stuff and everything. You know, they got nice and settled in at home, and then whoop, up they go, and they're on the road. So I hopefully they got their sea legs tonight. It took a little while to get going, but I still very impressive for what they did. So they worked their way out of that. So good job, Isles. And Matt had to do that. And like I said, Matt also had three block shots tonight, which is very impressive for Matt. That he doesn't usually have that many block shots, and he had a hit tonight as well. So good game by him. I didn't think he overplayed the puck too many times tonight, which is nice. Bo Horvat, once again, was absolutely 100% solid. Zero cross boards for points. Did have a penalty tonight, but he had 22 minutes and 13 seconds of ice time. That would have been from the penalty killing, and just that he was playing really well. I mean, his face-off percentage is through the roof right now. The guy's humming along at 60% right now, basically, for the season. I mean, good Lord, Team Canada, what more do you want than a guy, a fourth line center who will win you 60% of the face-offs and score you 17 goals? I don't know. I can't think of a better fourth line center than that. I really can't. So I'm really hoping for you, Bo. And Bo also had himself a hit, but he did have a couple of giveaways. Mark Gatcomb, once again, he was the engine that stirred the drink again tonight, man. The guy is it's almost like he's brought Kyle McLean to life single-handedly by himself. It kind of reminds me. I was watching them tonight, and I was watching all three of them, and that's Casey included, and they were humming out there, and I actually kind of I got I got a little bit of flashbacks to the Hanson brothers in Slapshot. Not like they were out running around hitting everything in sight. It was just the way they were skating in sync together and everything, and they were putting the pressure on and forechecking and everything. It was really good. And Mark got himself 10 minutes and 29 seconds of ice time. He had four hits, one block shot, and two shots on net. And that's why you can roll four lines, is when you got players doing things like that. I mean, Patty must have just been loving it tonight, just rolling those lines out there. I mean, that's fantastic. Anders, great game by Anders, one of the few guys on the Isles tonight who got a point, but he got himself an assist on that deflection before Cal made the beauty between the legs goal, but he gets himself a +1 because of it. Anders did pick himself up a penalty tonight. He only had 13 minutes and 45 seconds of ice time, and he had one hit and one giveaway. But like I said, once again, that was Patrick just rolling the lines, rolling the lines, rolling the lines. Kyle McLean, like I said, it's almost like Gatcomb has given him a rebirth. Well, Kyle McLean gets 12 minutes and 56 seconds of ice time tonight. He gets zeros across the board, but he has one block shot and one hit as well. Just looked fantastic, as the whole fourth line did. I thought Shabunov looked good. Shabby, it would be nice to get a little more production of him. It'd be nice to get a little more production of a few guys, but until then, they're still all playing good defensive games. That was like a playoff game tonight. So we want to know that we can play playoff style in a playoff game if we need be. And we kind of did that tonight. So in 15 minutes and 44 seconds of ice time, Shabby got himself a couple of shots on net. What else did he do? He also had a couple of block shots and he did have one giveaway as well. So overall, a fairly good game by him. Heineman, skating like the wind out there, 18 minutes and 16 seconds of ice time, zeros across the board, but he had three block shots, four hits, and one giveaway. I mean, that's just a solid, that's a great third line kind of player, and especially with the shot that he's got. Fantastic. Casey, all right. All hail Casey for back-to-back empty net goals. There's a question for you, Eric Hornick. When's the last time a New York Islander uh, individual had back-to-back empty net goals in games? I bet you it's been decades. That's all I can say. I bet you it's been decades for sure. So anyway, Casey picks himself up another goal, even if it was with only 2 seconds left in game, and it also gives him a +1 because of that. 14 minutes and 4 seconds of ice time. He had a shot on net, obviously, because he scored a goal, and he had two block shots and two hits as well. So it was really good for him. Now, Cal Ritchie. I was almost a little bit disappointed that he scored tonight because I was as I was watching the game, I just kept looking at Cal Ritchie and I kept going, I think on the podcast tonight I'm going to talk about how I think some way, somehow we have to find Cal Ritchie some extra time. Like maybe, one shift just tell Sipikoff or Lee to take a seat and just double shift Richie with somebody good for, periodically here and there. Maybe do him on the Barzell line, then do him once on the Horvat line, just somehow work in an extra shift for him. And then he goes and scores a goal. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, great. Now everybody's going to think the only reason I'm saying that is because he scored a goal tonight. And it was a beauty. But I'm telling you, I was watching this kid, and we do. We need to increase his ice time from 12:41. He's just the flashes, they're coming, and they're getting quicker and quicker between each other. And he just needs some ice time and something with some good players, maybe even. Awesome job, Cal. Cal, I'm very, very excited, but yeah, really happy with that Brock Nelson trade. Hate to lose Brock Nelson, but we really scored on our trades. Great job. Uh, I got to give Lou his credit too as well. So Lou made some good moves there, but Darsh has made some excellent ones. The combination between the two of them have made the New York Islanders a completely different team, an exciting team, a fun team to watch. Even I think, I mean, it's been a big complaint from a lot of outside viewers about how boring it is to watch Islander games, and they weren't wrong. I mean, we're Islander fans, and the only reason we can catch any excitement out of those games is because we're their fan of that team. But like even us, we know like holy crow, man, that was a boring, boring game. Like, man, did I ever waste 3 hours of my lifetime? So but now it's a completely different team, and it's so exciting. I look so forward to the hockey games now. Like I said, uh, I know something's gonna catch my eye, and a lot of it has to do with Schaefer, but yeah, the whole team playing really well. Adam Pelech, another really good game tonight. 22 minutes of ice time. He had a shot on net, one block shot, one hit, two giveaways, but overall his defensive play was really good. Him and Pollock, both of them pulling zeros across the board, but Pulley put in 22 minutes and 38 seconds of ice time as well. But he got one shot on net, three block shots. He had five the game before, so that's like eight block shots in two games for Ryan. One giveaway as well. Scotty, I didn't even notice this. I didn't even notice this. I said, I remember last podcast I said, oh, typical Scotty Mayfield game, except the only thing missing is he should be +1 because he's usually +1. So I'm looking at his stat line here and I see he's got zeros across the board, but he's a +1. A little more ice time than he normally gets at 18:39. Usually it's around the 15-minute mark, but yeah, that's hilarious. So anyway, Scott gets himself one shot on net, two block shots, and two hits. He's, he looks sluggish. He looks slow. Yeah, I can tell this guy's a leader on our team. I can tell he's a leader. People listen to this guy. Uh, I think his brains make up for how slow he can be and some of his deficiency. He's just a plugger. He's a plugger. You can never expect a lot more than just plugging kind of play out of Scott, but he'll surprise you every once in a while. And that's when I usually like to call him Bobby Orr Mayfield, when he pulls one of those unbelievable rushes to the net and picks top shelf roof daddy. But he does it every once in a while. But he deserves his flowers for what he's doing on this team. I know a lot of people want him gone. They think we can get something better than him, but I really think Scott goes a lot further than what just meets the eye out there. Adam Boquist, he had zeros across the board, 11 minutes, 46 seconds of ice time. Scary for me on the defensive side of the puck with Boquist. Sure, he's got a bit of offensive talent out there and whatnot, and he got one shot on net, one block shot, did have one giveaway, but didn't get a whole lot of ice time, but like I said, I'm a little nervous on the defensive side of the puck. I did notice when he was out there a lot, we seemed to be hemmed in our end. And it's not like we were hemmed in a lot, but when we were, he seemed to be on the ice. So take that for what it's worth. Tony DeAngelo, like I said, all praise a defenseman who shoots from the point all day long, and Tony deserves huge credit because the first power play unit looked terrible. And at least the second power play, they shot the puck and ended up scoring a goal because of it. So great job by Tony DeAngelo doing that. Picks himself up an assist, grabbed himself a point in 16 minutes and 25 seconds of ice time. And he had one hit and one giveaway tonight. So, like I said, nothing really overall super exciting from anybody, but just really a bunch of great defensive hockey games tonight. And kudos to Ilya. Kudos to Ilya. So, it is so cool for me right now. My two favorite goaltenders in Islander history is Chico and Ilya. I mean, they're my two favorite. Now they both sit on top with 25 shutouts apiece. Ilya was outstanding tonight, but Patrick said it best. He made it look easy. But a lot of those saves weren't easy, but he made them look awful easy. And that's just, when he's on top of his game. And there's no doubt this coaching change that is happening. I mean, it's such an obvious turnaround in Ilya's play. From the moment we brought in Sergey, his game has just turned around completely. From the way it was a mess. Let's be honest, it was a mess at the start of the season. Big save Dave was our guy, really. I don't know, I was starting to feel more comfortable in there with Big Save Dave. But Ilya, so excited for you, man. So happy to see you pick up your 25th shutout of your career. And this would be an interesting one for the people who've watched all of Islander hockey. For me personally, when it came to Chico and Billy Smith, I was a Chico guy. I wanted Chico in net. 100% I wanted Chico in net, at least for regular season. Now, when Billy went in at the start of our cups and dominated that first cup, then I'm all on board for Billy Smith to be the goaltender every playoffs that come along because he was outstanding. I mean, I don't think there was a better money goalie in the world than Billy Smith. But when it came down to the debate between Chico and Billy, I was a Chico guy all the way. I always liked Chico and net better. I always felt more comfortable with Chico and net than I did with Billy. I mean, and his regular season numbers, I believe, were way better than Billy's. So interesting. Were you a Chico guy or were you a Billy guy? So we all know everybody was a Billy guy in the playoffs for sure, 100%. That'll never be debated. So anyway, that's it for the Owls right now. I mean, how exciting was that? Big game tomorrow. Big game tomorrow. We got Florida. So let's hopefully we can take advantage of them the way we took advantage of Tampa tonight. They're down and almost out right now, Florida. So let's hop on it. These are games that it could have been scheduled type of losses going down to, do that Florida road trip, and that's always a tough one. So if we can somehow get out of here, man, if we can go 4-0 in the last four games, beating Tampa twice, Florida once, and the odds the other time, mind blown. Mind, and the Owls are playing really good hockey now, even though they didn't play a really great game. But that, to me, it was a great game. It was a game that they won. And that's what it's all about. The W. Get the W. That's what you need. Get the W. So, anyway, that's about all I got for you tonight. Excited to do another podcast. It was a lot of fun. Very happy the Islanders could come through in the way they did. Yeah. So, anyways, for me, it's always special to win on a Saturday night. As a kid, it was Saturday night hockey. It was the only night of the week that hockey was on. So, winning on Saturday night is always special to me. So to win tonight on a Saturday night was exciting. I hope all you guys and girls out there have a really good night tonight. And I want you all to take care and peace out.